Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Taisho Alice. Yay! And we're in Red Riding Hood's route. We just started in the last part, I think. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna continue where we left off. He was sleeping in a chair in our bedroom because God forbid he leaves us alone. I mean, anyway. That one got stuck. And that was one of those yawns that was like really quiet. I tried, but I was like, I can't make a noise. Morning already? I sat up and stretched as the morning sun streamed in through my window. I looked in the direction of the light and realized that Red was gone. Red? I got out of bed and opened the door to find him standing directly in front of me in the hallway. Whoa! I jumped back reflexively. Good morning, Miss Arisu. Good morning, Red. You startled me. I clutched my chest. I apologize. While you were sleeping, I was checking for any unusual activity. Oh, good work. I tied my hair back in a quick ponytail so I could wash my face. Then I felt his gaze on me and turned to look. What? Nothing. He awkwardly averted his eyes. Oh, is you? He's like, God, the way you wash your face is so sexy. Yeah, because, I mean, everything I do is sexy? I mean, either that or he's like, God, you look like an idiot when you wash your face. Probably that. But, tell me, Miss Arisu, what are your plans for the day? I'm going to school. I see. I can't hum because my nose is stuffed up. And it's just really hard to hum when you can't breathe through your nose at all. Humming to myself, I opened the fridge and took stock of the ingredients I had on hand. For breakfast, we can have eggs and toast, plus leftovers from last night. Then I just need to put together 3 dishes for the packed lunches and we should be good to go. I quickly launched into meal prep. Gosh, doesn't do that the night before. I didn't take you for a heavy eater. Huh? Red called out to me as I was plating the finished food. His gaze was fixed on the 4 boxed lunches sitting on the counter. Oh, the lunches? No, there's no way I could eat all that. So they're for other people? Yep. Does that make you curious? Want to know who? I grinned. Yes. Part of my job is to maintain an understanding of your interpersonal relationships. Well, 1 is for me, and 2 of them are for my friends, I guess you'd say. You guess? Well, 1 of them is a friend, and the other one, it's hard to explain. Anyway, the last one is for you. Some of our boys from the other path, that's all I'm saying. It might not be Cinderella, but it's got to be Cinderella, Gretel, Snow White, Kaguya. I'm just guessing it's 1 or 2 of them. I don't know. Anyway. I thrust out my chest proudly. He stared back at me dubiously. You went out of your way to prepare my portion? Of course. Don't you want it? I have my canned rations. If you don't get some variety in your diet, you'll give yourself high blood pressure from excessive salt intake. A balanced diet is critical for someone with a job like yours that requires a lot of physical stamina. Otherwise, you won't have the energy to combat the bad guys. I rattled off all the excuses I could think of to keep him from getting a word in edgewise. The point is, your well-being directly benefits me. Does that make sense? Understood. I shall gratefully accept this gesture. Yay! The time flew by, and before I knew it, it was time to leave the house. I mean, God, what time does she wake up? At like 6 o'clock and leaves at like noon? Jeez. I roll out of bed at like 8, and I sort of leave around 9 to get to work around 9. Because, like, I literally live 5 minutes away. This is the benefit of living right next door to work. Like, some people would be like, I don't want to live near work. I do. It's a lot less time that I have to spend driving in the morning. I can sleep late. Spacey is smart. Plus, I used to drive an hour each way to work when I lived up north. So when I moved to the south, I was like, hell no. I am literally going to live in the goddamn parking lot if I have to. So, at the front door, I put on my shoes, then turned on my heel. I'm going to school now. I shall accompany you. Oh, right. I temporarily forgotten about the 24-hour surveillance thing. He wasn't my personal butler or something. He was a police officer. This isn't going to be one of those things where you walk into my class wearing a school uniform, and the teacher introduces you as our new exchange student, is it? I see. An undercover investigation. That's a novel idea. I shall acquire a school uniform and fill out the paperwork at once. You're joking, right? Absolutely not. He said this with a perfectly straight face, too. Let's think about this for a minute. Do you realize how long that paperwork will take to process? Once again, here I was, having to explain something to Red. It's just not worth it over one measly blackmail letter. We ought to take every precaution. I understand how you feel, but think about it. You're clearly a grown man. There's nothing undercover about this. Oh, come on. Johnny Depp went undercover in 21 Jump Street and nobody believed that they weren't teenagers. How the fuck? I want to watch that show, like the original fucking one, like back in the 80s. I want to watch that and be like, did nobody realize that these people... But you know what, though? It was the 80s. We have the Breakfast Club where it's like pushing 30-year-olds are in there like, yeah, we're high school students. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like, actually, I don't really know how old they were, but a lot of shit in the 80s was like you're 35 pretending you're in high school? What's her face in 90210? That was in the 90s, but like, what was her name? Forget the character she played. But she was like freaking in her 30s. Like, most of them were in their 20s, like, which is usually what happened, but she was like literally like almost 30 or turned 30 when they were during one of the years it was on. I forget. I didn't really watch the show that much. I don't know. But I do remember that. Anyway. With all the unwanted attention you'll attract, the culprit is bound to notice you immediately. I was desperate to keep him far, far away from the school. You're right. It would be unnatural for me to accompany you as a fellow student. See, there you go. Which is why I shall have them hire me as a substitute teacher. Now you're cooking with gas. I shot him the finger guns. She's like, now you're wait, what? No. Can we just... Do we not maybe think that he might be the wolf? I'm just saying, he's got a hood with ears and paws, and it's just looking a little suspicious. Just a little suspicious. Just a little bit. A little itty bit suspicious. Just a teeny bit. I mean, I'm just saying. Seriously? If he turns out to be the wolf, it's going to be like, could you have actually, like, called him the wolf instead of classmate, maybe, to make it more obvious? I'm just saying, if he's not the wolf, good on you, game, for literally putting something in here that's a red herring. That's not named Red Herring. Oh my God, a pup named Scooby-Doo. Wow. It was Red Herring! Fuck! I gotta rewatch that show too. Anyway. A cop? Yep. For reals? Dude, that's totally badass. Lunchtime found me in the school courtyard. As we ate, I told my buddy all about what was going on. Your buddy who's in love with you, I'm guessing. Really? Okay, I'm just saying, if he is the wolf, what the actual fuck? If he's not the wolf, applause for putting something in here that is so goddamn fucking obvious that you're like, it's one of those, it's either like, this is so fucking obvious and I can't believe these two geniuses can't put two and two together, or it's like, wow, that's a really good red herring. That's really good. That's good. Like, I appreciate that. Throw you off the scent. It's A or B. I don't know which one, but it's like, really though? I mean, so, anyway. His name was Wolf, spelled with 2 O's and an E, apparently. So where's he at? Your cop friend, I mean. He bit back a laugh as he spoke. No clue. He did tell me to give a shout if I'm ever in danger. In the end, we decided against the substitute teacher thing. Mainly because it was ridiculous. So like, how are you holding up and stuff? What do you mean? Come on, dude. After everything you just told me, I'm hella worried now. What if your crazy stalker forces himself on you? Don't get any ideas, buddy. I'm on to you. Relax. Not gonna happen. I waved my hand dismissively. Are you sure about that? You're a pretty girl, you know. Oh yeah? Go ahead, butter me up. Mirror, mirror on the wall, you're the hottest of them all. I'm just saying, he's not making the case against him any lighter. We're putting more pins in the guilty party shit. Ain't that the truth? Wow. Applause for your self-esteem. We exchanged a high five. Ew, I accidentally just spit on my fucking trackpad. That's why the mouse is wiggling all over. So, what's the story with the cop? What do you mean? Well, what's he like? He's weird. Oh, and ridiculously attractive. Gotcha. Wait, what? So he's hot? More like ice cold. Oh. This seemed to dampen Wolf's enthusiasm quite a bit. Or so I thought. Then he grinned. So you're trying to smash that, eh? Are you trying to smash that? I can't believe this is a question. Yes? No? Why do you ask? I am so tempted to be like, yes. Okay, no is not the right answer at all. It might actually be the right answer, but for me, it is not the right answer. It's probably the right fucking answer. I wish we had a guide. But, yeah, no. It's like, I mean, maybe, but yeah. I don't think we're quite at the yeah. We're more like the, I mean, I wouldn't say no. So why do you ask? Why you ask? Because I'm thinking my answer is probably yes, but I don't want to admit that yet. Why do you ask? Well, he's hot, right? Definitely. Plus, every time you bring him up, you get this big smile on your face. I do? Hella, dude. It's not really about hooking up with him or anything like that. I just want to get to know him better, that's all. That's all? That's all, Yeah, I could have read that better. What? You don't believe me? Are you sure there's nothing else? You mean physical attraction? Yeah, like, real talk, straight up. Do you want the D or not? Oh my god, I gotta find it. Hold on. So, there's someone I follow on Twitter who posts a lot about mostly like mobile games that are coming out and stuff like that, which gets me sad every time because I see them and I'm like, but it's a mobile game. But they posted a bunch of screenshots. I gotta find it. Of this, comparing the original terrible translation to this. And so this is the line in this translation, right? This version. Yeah, like real talk, straight up. Do you want the D or not? This is the terrible translation, and this makes me think, I swear to God, I need to go find the original bad translation of this game, get my hands on it so we can like play it after and do like a mixed reviews, the terrible version of this, because this is what the line originally was in the bad version, the trash version of this game. Yes, whether you could have sex with him or not, if I had to put it bluntly. That's not terrible. That's not that terrible. But this is so much fucking funnier. So much funnier. And actually, one of the funniest parts is in the very first, when you're talking to Alice, when he's like, fine, wait, where is it? My favorite, and it's actually hilarious, I guess. So when he says, in that case, I'll be English style Alice, and you can be Japanese style Arisu. Or what, you want me to call you, like, Alice with a question mark at the end? Is that what you want? The original translation is the funniest fucking thing. Fine, I'll be katakana Alice, and you'll be hiragana Alice. Or when we write it, we'll put it in parentheses so everybody knows it's temporary. Katakana Alice and hiragana Alice. Oh, fuck. But I'm just saying, this is just so much more charming. Do you want the D or not? Well, there's a line about tissues in here too that Red Riding Hood says, and that one's fucking hilarious. So when we get there, I'll tell you what the other translation was. Cause it's completely, to me, like, I don't know the context because I just have that one thing and I'm like, there's a big difference into how this is worded. Like, so great anyway. Good thing I wasn't drinking my tea just then, or I'd have spit it out all over myself. It's pretty fucking funny. This really isn't the sort of conversation we should be having in public. My bad. I just think of it as gossiping on the phone with your gal pals. You are really interested in if I want his D or not, and I'm just thinking because you'd like to give me the D, and you're fucking jealous. I'm still thinking he's the wolf, and nothing will convince me otherwise until we get to the point where he's not. Then I'll be like, okay, I was wrong the whole time, but we're not on the phone, and you're a guy. Oh, so you do see me as a guy. Hell yeah! Of course. What else would you be? Your pet? Shake, boy! Woof woof! Gah, you got me. Okay, let's get this conversation back on track, shall we? Okay. She's like, okay. You know. Good grief. You need to start trying a little harder or you're gonna miss your big chance. What do you mean? You, the damsel in distress, pursued by a spooky stalker. Him, the ace detective assigned to your case. This is like Hollywood material, my dude. Think about it. And yet, you're calling... And yet this conversation makes me think that maybe he's not the wolf because, like, why would he be like, come on, hop on that shit and take a ride? Woot woot for the fuck train. Like, why would he be pushing us and doing this if he was... No, that's right. He's gonna come after us for our sin. Okay, I don't know what that... Okay, I'm very confused. All right, I don't know what's going on. What? It was our sin. He was going to expose us. Yeah, so it's not like a creepy love stalker. Yeah, okay, all right, you know what? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Let's just keep going. You're right. This really does sound like movie material. Although I can't help but notice you put question marks on part of it. Nah, bro, you're imagining things. Uh-huh. Let's go with that. My point is, there's no way this thing is ending platonically. He's not wrong. You think so? You bet, dude. Ever heard of the suspension bridge effect? Right. That's supposed to just be temporary, though. And mixed signals don't really count, if you ask me. You dweeb. Mixed signals are all part of the game, my dude. I think it's really fucking funny that he calls us my dude. Every fucking sentence. I think we need to start taking shots every time he calls us my dude. I wish I had fucking cranberry juice to mix with some vodka, and we would be like, shots! This is a drinking game now. Like, even if you say that, she's not once said that, so thank God. But, we know how that goes in some games. But even if you say that, oh, for fuck's sake, would you stop? Nobody actually says that in real life. I have never heard a human being say that phrase. Why isn't it in all these games? Anyway. But now this game's version of that is my dude. I approve. It fucking amuses me, so. Look, if you're serious about this, I'm down to help a sister out. You're gonna help me? What? You don't believe me? No, I believe you. It's just... Oh, please. Keep acting like you're a sweet little lamb and some wolf's gonna come along and gobble you up. You're saying men are all beasts. I tell you, whoever first came up with that saying is a genius. Are you saying that because you're creepy stalker rapey? I don't know. Like, Wolf is really confusing. At first, it seems like you might be interested. You look like the wolf because your name is Wolf, and that seems really obvious and maybe too obvious. And then it's like, yeah, you should totally ride his dick. All men suck. I'm not sure what page you're on. I'm not even sure which volume of all the issues that you have that you were on. But I find him interesting. I don't dislike him. He's just very baffling, and he's got a whole fucking lot of, like, National Geographics, and I just don't even know what issue or page he's on, so, anyway. Does that mean I'm in danger right now, sitting here alone with you? Oh, I get it. 'Cause I'm a wolf? Get it? Guilty as charged. Oh! He raised his hands up in front of his face, pointing his claws at me. Eek! Save me, Mr. Huntsman! I leaned back in faux fright as I joked, oh dear God. Chomp chomp! You're play fighting, but you know, like, Red's gonna go jumping the fuck out of the woods. He put his arms around me. Oh. And here's Mr. Huntsman. Oh my God! Really? I knew the Huntsman was actually a... That's why these are voiced characters, because they have sprites. But, this is just fucking funny. Anyway, what did I just walk in on? An annoyed voice rang out, interrupting our little game. Is he one of our friends, or is he a teacher? Oh, hey, he actually showed up. Sup, Mr. Huntsman? Wolf jumped to attention, straightening his posture. You see, Mr. Huntsman is one of the hunters who works here. His real name is Ryoshi, but I'm not allowed to call him that at school. Fun fact, Ryoshi means hunter in Japanese. Our parents weren't very creative. Ryoshi Huntsman. Hunter Huntsman. Yeah, well, let's put it this way. If he was born in America, they would have just named him Hunter. So, like, our parents wouldn't be very creative either. Hello, Mr. Huntsman. I greeted him formally. Hey, you two ever think about taking school seriously for a change? Sick burn, Hunter the Hunter. Aw, come on. We've got good grades. Yeah, plus it's lunch. We exchanged a playful glance. Wearing his usual resting grump face, Mr. Huntsman sat down next to me and took a small rectangular item out of his pocket. You know you're not allowed to smoke, Mr. Huntsman. I snatched the pack of cigarettes away and put a lollipop in his mouth instead. Though he was a talented hunter, he had a poor grasp of social etiquette. Good grief. Try to be more considerate of your students. Some people are sensitive to the smoke, remember? Oh, sorry. Bad habit. He rolled the lollipop around on his tongue as he spoke. Oh yeah, so wait till you get a load of this, Mr. Huntsman. Arisu-chan has a crush on this guy, and he's... Shh! Shh! I hastily clapped a hand over Wolf's mouth. Oh, yeah? You don't care at all, do you? What the hell, man? You don't care about some guy getting it on with your little sister? Wolf pushed my hand away, his eyes sparkling with curiosity. Is the Huntsman our older brother? Okay. When she said our parents weren't really... I was like, I don't know why she's saying our parents, because, like, our name's Spacey. That seems really original, but, like... Oh my God. That explains why we can't call him his name at school, like, blah, 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 because I was like, okay, wow. Pipe down. Ouch! Hearing Mr. Huntsman's disinterested response, I heaved a sigh of relief. Wolf, he doesn't care about my love life, just like I don't care that he goes through girlfriends like underwear. It's really unfortunate because he's kind of cute, and I was like, we don't get to date, we don't get routes with them. Like, look, we don't get a route with Wolf. Okay, wouldn't be sad, but I'm like, he's kind of cute. He's our brother. I'm kind of glad we don't get a route with him now. Okay, that makes sense. And like, well, I mean, we've had routes with our stepbrothers or like what fake brothers. We have yet to have a game where it's our brother. So like, I'm just saying it's gonna happen at some point, and I might be traumatized, but for the record, I do care a little. I'm a hunter after all, but our last name isn't Hunter, so like, but he says it with a capital, like his last name is Hunter. I don't know. I stared at him, wearing my most threatening smile. Look, Spacey. Just then the bell rang, signaling the end of our happy little lunch period. Whoops, time's up, gotta go. I feel like he can't be our actual brother. Because if you maybe? I don't know. But like, if he is, why would he hang out with us at school? He wouldn't give a shit. We basically said our brother doesn't give a crap about us and is like a terrible human being. And he seems kind of grouchy and bitchy, but he doesn't seem as bad as I thought our brother would be. So, I mean, I don't know. Figure it out. Fist pumping internally, I jumped to my feet. Meanwhile, Mr. Huntsman gave me a look that said, I'll let it slide for today. Yeah, we'd better go. You okay? Are you coming down with something? I rubbed Wolf's back as I spoke. Sorry, I just choked on my own spit. Thanks, though. Well, okay. Maybe have some soup when you get home, just to be safe. I mean, he is kind of adorable in a nerdy kind of way. He was a sickly child growing up, and to this day he would frequently fall ill. I'm all better now. Anyway, thanks as always for the great food. He grinned like it was nothing. Anyway, see ya. See you later. And so we waved goodbye. As I walked off campus, I glanced around, checking my surroundings. No people or houses nearby, just a sea of trees. Hardly surprising, of course, considering the school was situated in a forest in a more rural part of town. Oh, of course. Sure enough, there he was, standing against a tree. Thanks for waiting. As soon as he caught sight of me, Red straightened his posture. Welcome back, Miss Arisu. Glad to see you're unharmed. Did you notice any abnormal activities? Nope, just another peaceful day at school. Glad to hear it. What were you up to while I was in class? Patrolling, as well as some minor legwork. Legwork? I asked around to see if anyone had witnessed someone acting suspiciously. How'd it go? No luck. It would appear this town is downright idyllic. That's good to hear. So anyway, would you come shopping with me on our way home? Certainly. Thanks. He's going to do it whether you want him to or not. And so I purchased a few days' worth of groceries, humming to myself all the while. We made lunch for ourselves, and I'm assuming for Wolf, and for the Huntsman, but he just showed up. I mean, I'm trying to figure out where that third lunch went. Red was right. The town truly felt idyllic and peaceful. Nevertheless, he maintained constant vigilance as he scanned the area. Any requests for dinner tonight? No. I see. Off topic. Would you describe yourself as an alpha in bed? I'm gonna choke. Holy fucking shit, this game. What? My friend told me all men are wolves. So you're asking me if I'm an alpha wolf? Sonotori. That's right. I shot him the finger guns. Why does she keep doing that? I feel like we could get drunk just from the amount of times she finger guns and the amount of times Wolf calls us my dude. We'd be shit-faced right now, but... Did you tell your friend about me? He stared at me, exasperated. Of course. Is that a bad thing? No. It may prove beneficial to have a friend at school who knows what you're going through, unless that friend is the wolf. I'm just saying. Don't worry, it's someone I know I can trust, unless you can't. I see. After another curt reply, Red hastened his pace, and I trailed after him. Aren't you going to ask me for details about my friend? No. Oh. I'd been expecting him to interrogate me about it, so this caught me off guard. Okay then. Muttering to myself, I stared after him. But just as he was about to pass the flower shop, he stopped short. Whoa, what is it? I had to stop myself from crashing into him at the last second. Nothing. He tugged his riding hood down over his eyes. I think someone may be following us. What? I could be mistaken, but just in case, I think we should run out of here at full speed. Any objections? No, I'm fairly in shape. If I do say so myself, I'll be like, I've got groceries unless you're carrying them. Glad to hear it. Let's go. Crouching down slightly, Red began to run at full speed, weaving between the passers-by. Naturally, I followed suit. Once we rounded the corner, we finally came to a stop. I notice you're out of breath. I thought you said you were in shape. I am. It's just... weaving between people in the crowd is harder than I thought it would be. Is that so? Yeah. Only a ninja could pull that off. I'm not a ninja, and I managed it. Yeah, I know. You must be some kind of special agent or something, huh? Anyway, don't worry about it. So, are we still being followed? I apologize. It appears I was mistaken. I laughed humorlessly. Ta-da! Tonight's dinner is Salisbury steak. Yes, I know. I watched you prepare it. I sauntered gallantly into the dining room with our food on a platter, but Red didn't much appreciate my dynamic entrance. Right. With a deft hand, I set the plates on the table, then took a seat across from him. Thank you for the meal. Bon appetit! And so we tucked into our supper. How is it? Do you like it? Meanwhile, I used my knife and fork to cut my steak into bite-sized pieces. Sure, I like it fine. Huh. Already this was a step above last night's "do you need me to tell you it's delicious" comment. The power of meat is not to be underestimated, it seems. You mean it? I'm so glad. Oh yeah, how did you like your lunch? It was good. Yay! I jumped out of my seat and thrust my fist into the air victoriously. Okay, that's a little overreaction. You'd be like, yeah, but like, yeah! I'm gonna jump up. My girl is fucking Nutter Butters. She's got a lot of enthusiasm. I feel like she's got super enthusiasm because he is like such a wet rag, but, you know. Ahem. Red shot me a weird look, so I cleared my throat and returned to my seat. Nothing's really happened since you got here, huh? I casually changed the subject. Are you talking about the harassment? Red promptly took the bait. What a nice guy letting me save face. Yeah, it's like the guy up and vanished. Perhaps he's on guard now that I'm here. Then it hit me. Wait, but that means... the wolf knows a cop is here? It's not out of the realm of possibility. He took an item out of his gingham basket. While we're on this subject, do you recognize this? What is it? The object he set on the table was small and black. To me, it looked like a portable radio of some kind. I found it in your living room. I'll pass it along to forensics just in case, but I imagine it's a type of listening device. When did that get here? I swallowed. It's possible the wolf waited until you left the house in order to install it. I went ahead and searched the house top to bottom just in case, but I failed to locate any others. When did that happen? All part of my investigation. As he spoke, he didn't even bat a lash. No, seriously, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to get a warrant before you go searching around the whole premises. Forget it. What do we do? Are we in trouble if the culprit finds out about you? I looked at him with concern. On the contrary, I'd say my presence is keeping them in check. Oh, I see. I guess it'll be harder to mess with me now that I've got a bodyguard. Right. And that said, at the rate we're progressing, we'll have difficulty even identifying the culprit, much less arresting them. My guess is that the forensics team won't find anything else, but we'll see. Should we bait him or something? Please don't suggest that, not even as a joke. Remind me again why it is I'm here. To protect me? He nodded. Precisely, which means I cannot expose you to danger for no good reason. Your safety takes priority over taking the culprit into custody. But sometimes you have to take risks if you want to get anywhere. Trust me when I say that now is not one of those times. He shot me down without hesitation. Listen here, Miss Arisu. It's only been 2 days since I first arrived. Just because we haven't seen anything yet doesn't mean we never will. So I should just relax and keep living my life? Correct. If the culprit plans to commit a crime in my presence, they'll surely attempt to strike when our guards are down. So maybe they're gathering intel on us for now? Yes. At the very least, that is what I would do in their shoes. At this, I close my eyes and sink deep into thought. What is it? What if the culprit never makes a move? I opened my eyes and looked up at him once more. I mean, if you think about it, oh, well, that's true. Duh, I'm forgetting the obvious. The wolf is the wizard because he's trying to arrange this relationship. I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, you've considered the possibility that they won't take further action, right? Yes, of course. What would you do then? Surely you can't stay here forever and ever, right? I mean, you can, and I wouldn't be opposed to it. After a moment of thought, Red looked back at me. 1 week from now, should the culprit remain dormant, I'll report that the blackmail letter was an isolated incident. Granted, should anything occur after that, I'll of course come to your aid at once. But you won't stay with me as my bodyguard like you're doing now. Right. I see. Then that means we only have 5 more days together, huh? 6 if you include today. Feels like a long time, but I bet it'll fly by. In a blink. That's kind of depressing, isn't it? It was the honest truth of how I felt. We'd only just met. It struck me as such a shame that our friendship to come to an end so quickly. He's like, our friendship, and he's like, our what now? Like, oh, I know. I clapped my hands together. I know just the thing to bring us closer together. Having sex? What? Since you're here, how about I show you around the house? Around the house? Well, I didn't get the chance yesterday because I forgot, so let's fix that. Oh, kind of late for that, huh? Yeah, I get it. You've already investigated the place anyway. But just as I slumped my shoulders... please, if you wouldn't mind. Oh. Okay, then. We'll do it after dinner. My voice shot up an octave in my joy. Great. Thank you in advance. And so began the great Spacey Arisu house tour. So first things first. I cleared my throat in an ostentatious display, then donned a serious expression. Ahem. This is the living room. I know. We've spent a majority of our time here. Okay then, onwards we go. Where will you take him next? The ballroom? He's been to my room. Here we are. This is the ballroom, my second favorite place to hang out. This looks exactly like the cafe and the clothing store we went to with Cinderella. Look at me being snarky about the backgrounds. Your second favorite? Yeah, I'll show you my favorite later. I see. It's obviously my bedroom. What? That's it? I stared into his eyes, trying to gauge his reaction. It looks like you could hold a dance here. I know, right? I think we did at one point, but I can't remember. Have you ever gone dancing, Red? It's called a ballroom. So, hello, yeah. No. That's a shame. I bet you'd be a real gentleman. I can totally picture him wearing a fancy suit. And that's about it. Very funny. I admit, I'm not a fan of most formal events. I can picture him wearing a fancy suit, and you know what? I'm just going to take that suit off. No, we want to picture him in a fancy suit. It's sexier. Oh, really? But before I could joke that he was too cool for parties, I imagine a proper lady such as yourself would be quite good at dancing. That was unexpected to say the least. Oh no, to tell the truth, I can't dance a lick. I folded my hands behind my back and smiled at him flirtatiously. Say, if I threw a party here, would you ask me to dance? I gotta be honest, I know that she's like joking and flirting with him, but it's almost like, girl, his radar is like all the fuck off, and you were like, would you dance with me? Do you think I'm pretty? You are bordering on crazy. After all, there's no need to worry about embarrassing ourselves if neither of us are good at it, right? We would both be better off learning from someone more experienced. 2 negatives don't make a positive. Sure they do. If you subtract a negative number from a negative number, you end up adding to it. Same with multiplication. For a moment, I forgot to flirt and ended up giving a serious response. Yes, in math. Same goes for real life. Don't think about it like a ruler or a line on a graph. It's like a double negative in grammar. The outcome of our pairing will change depending on the surrounding context. For example, since neither of us can dance, we could always take lessons together in advance. You know, hypothetically. Thank you. Your feedback is duly noted. You're welcome. Where will you take him next? The entryway. This is the entryway. So it is. The bedrooms and guest rooms are all on the 2nd floor. Down here we've got the living room and the ballroom. Uh-oh, he doesn't look that impressed. He's probably thinking, no shit, Sherlock, right about now. Okay then, onwards we go. Where will you take him next? Did I autosave? It said I autosaved, but I didn't think. Guys, I don't know. Should we take him to my room, maybe? You know what? I feel like maybe we should. As you know, this is my room. As in, this is where I sleep. Yes, of course. His curt response took the wind out of my sails. You were like, I can show you around the house. And he's like, yeah, sure. He's trying to be nice by saying yes. What a luxurious room you have. I'm quite jealous that you get to live in this lovely mansion. Oh, he responded to a social cue for once. Yeah, me too. You are jealous of your own house? Oh, whoops. Sorry, I got carried away. I giggled bashfully. Shall we continue the tour? Right. Now then, I'll take you to my favorite spot. Are you curious? I imagine it's probably the... Shh! Stop right there, buddy! You're gonna spoil the surprise. The bathroom? Yeah, I like to take shits, and I like to sit there for hours. I'm sure it's a bath, because that's what I would do. I pouted my lips, and Red gave a defeated sigh. Wow. Very well, then. Now then, right this way. It's the only other room we haven't showed him aside from guest bedrooms. With that, I attempted to take him by the arm. I didn't have any ulterior motive for doing this, mind you. In my giddiness, my first instinct was to reach for him. But my hand closed on empty air. Please refrain from touching me. He jumped away from me. Oh, sorry. Startled, I apologized immediately. In response, he awkwardly averted his gaze. Forgive my rudeness. No, it was my fault. I decided the best thing I could do to resolve this awkward moment would be to carry on as if it never happened. Well, anyway, just follow me. Right. So he doesn't like being touched. Interesting. And here we are. This is my favorite spot to hang out. The garden. Okay, so it was outside the house. I held my arms out wide as if to say, ta-da! Red silently stepped away from me and crouched down beside the flower bed. Behind him, I leaned over slightly. Do you like flowers? Yes, I suppose so. I find them rather soothing. I take it you like them as well. Pretty obvious, huh? Indeed. It's clear this garden is well tended to. He glanced around as he spoke. In this season, you're limited to these cute little winter roses. But in spring, I imagine this place really comes to life with blooms of every color. Do you like roses? I do. It's just... roses are so beautiful and elegant that I feel I'm not quite worthy of them. Oh, I see. So you're saying you prefer less pretentious flowers? You could say that. As someone like me has no business liking flowers, I suppose. He gave a self-deprecating laugh and pulled his hood low over his eyes. That's not true. Why, you're as sweet as a flower yourself. That's weird. Me? Sweet? Yeah. I must disagree. I haven't done anything remotely sweet for you. Sure you have. You're protecting me, aren't you? Yes, but only because it is my duty, and... Pursing his lips together, he fell silent and turned away. I believe I've said too much. You said the word "and." It's my duty, and I've said too much. Okay. With that, he straightened up and sped off toward the house. Let us return inside before we catch a chill. Hey, wait! I called after him. What is it? Will you come back and visit in the spring? What? He turned back and fixed me with a dubious look. Like you said, this place really comes alive in the springtime. Not just roses either. All kinds of flowers. Lilies and stuff. So would you like to... No. I think it's best I don't return. He cut me off, averting his gaze once more. Why's that? Lest you forget, I am only here to protect you from the wolf's evil designs. My presence here is an abnormality, not a given. Like, he just thinks his presence in the universe is an abnormality. This poor thing. He got some damage. Well, yeah, but... I do appreciate the thought, but I'm not meant to be a recurring part of your life. That's not what the wizard would say. Well, that's everything there is to show you. And now that I think about it, I really should have done this yesterday. Sorry about that. That's all right. Thank you for the tour. This information will be helpful going forward. Cool. Good to know. In the end, my spontaneous suggestion proved useful. Nice. For the record, you have a key to the front door, yes? Yes, of course. Does anyone else have one? Each of my family members has one. Oh, and I keep the master key and any spares safely in a kitchen drawer, so I won't lose them. I see. In that case, let us head to the kitchen. I'd like to check just to be safe. Sure thing. Together, the two of us walked through the living room to the kitchen. There, I pulled open the cabinet drawer where I kept the keyring. What the... It's gone? I dug around in earnest, but my search yielded not a single key. They were gone. You are quite sure you put them here? Yeah. When was the last time you checked? It would have been 2 days ago. I was doing some cleaning and came here to grab a key. Did you put it back? Of course. At this, his expression clouded over. You think somebody stole it? Chances are high, yes. It's all my fault, isn't it? I should have expected this. As soon as I got that blackmail letter, I should have predicted that someone would break into the house. I should have hidden the keys somewhere safe. Maybe the wolf did. He's like, your sin is that you left your keys in an obvious spot. And that just goes to show how strongly the harassment has affected your composure. How do you respond to that? Let's remain calm and think of a solution. Well, I guess there's no use crying over spilled milk. It won't magically fix anything. Let's figure out our next move. And just to be safe, I think we should inform the rest of your family. Right. I picked up the phone. First, I decided I would call my parents. Unfortunately, they didn't answer. I guess they're not home. I sighed and set the receiver down. They don't have a fucking answering machine? This is like pre-answering machines? We have cell phones, we go to school like normal, we do all this normal shit, and like whatever, but we ain't got our answering machines. I see. In that case, please try to contact your brother. Also, clearly we don't have cell phones. This is before the cell phones. Because we would have been like, I'm just going to text. My brother? Yes. Surely he would take action knowing your life is in danger, correct? I paused to think, then punched in Ryoshi's number. Yes, okay, that is our brother. But, like, he acted a little bit... I mean, he's kind of cold and asshole-ish. But he didn't act as much... Like, I thought from the way she was explaining him, he was going to be a raging douche. And he just seemed like... He's kind of a bitch. But, like... Like I didn't hate him. So that is our brother. Interesting. He's not answering. Meanwhile, the phone continued to ring and ring and ring. With a sheepish smile, I set the receiver back onto the hook. My family's just really busy. Too busy even for an emergency. Don't they care about your safety? Probably not. Otherwise, they wouldn't have left me alone in this house to begin with. Are you saying your parents prioritize their own interests over their child? Sure, I guess you could say that. Oh man, we got some tough family life. I shrugged. At this, Red furrowed his brows slightly. I mean, I'm 18, but I'm still in school. So, like, it's not like... I mean, even when you're 18, even after you graduate high school, you might go to college, but you might not. But, like, you're a high school student, whether you're 17 or 18. You're still a high school student. Your parents are like, what ants? I know I'm a legal adult, but it is a little... I don't know. Like, I guess if you were 18, graduated high school, had a job, or you were going to college, it's more like, you're being like an adult. But when you're in high school, it's more like, should we really be leaving you alone, even if you are 18? I don't know. I don't know what graduating high school how it makes it different, but it is still a little weird, like... I don't know. Anyway. At this, Red furrowed his brow slightly. Don't you miss them? I'm used to being on my own. Maybe I've just forgotten what it's like to enjoy someone else's company. I can relate somewhat. You can? Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. He pulled his hood over his eyes as if to escape from my prying gaze. Anyway, we won't resolve this by standing around. Good point. Supposing the key really has been stolen, there's no telling what the culprit might try to do. Personally, I would advise that you leave, but as this is your house, it's entirely up to you. I have no intention of leaving. I had a feeling you'd say that. If that is your preference, then I shall oblige. Status update. No suspicious individuals located within the house or the premises. Thanks for checking. You should get some rest. Likewise. I imagine you're quite exhausted yourself, Miss Arisu. Not that I blame you. Today was quite the eventful day. Don't worry about me. Go and get some rest. No, I'm not going to bed just yet. I want to talk to you a little more. I shook my head. Fine. Have it your way. I will, thanks. Wait, what are you doing? I'm setting another trap for the culprit just in case. You're setting a trap? Another trap? In my bedroom? But Red ignored my questions. I could see it working with some sort of thread. Now that your keys have been stolen, we can't be too careful. Right. I'm gonna get stuck in the first trap, aren't I? Here's how the trap will work. Should the culprit touch the doorknob, they'll be shocked with an electric current. If they enter, a knife will be propelled in their direction. Are you trying to kill them? Not to worry. The wound will be fatal, but their death will be prolonged just enough to ask them about their motive. Are you trying to kill them? Not to worry. The wound will be fatal, but their death will be prolonged just enough to ask them about their motive. What if someone in my family randomly decides to come home? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Nothing can be accomplished without sacrifice, after all. Oh my god! He's a little fucking cray-cray and I love it. You're joking, right? Yes. Okay, thank God. Your sense of humor isn't just dry, it's completely morbid. Actually, come to think of it, I didn't realize you were the joking type to begin with. That's fucking hilarious. There we are. I've made it so an alarm will sound if anyone intrudes. Upon closer inspection, I could see tiny little bells affixed all over the place. I'm guessing the smallest vibration will set them off. This is what you'd call a booby trap, right? Was this part of your professional training? Well, something like that. What part of it? He looked at me dubiously, so I decided to rephrase my question. Do they teach you that at the police academy? No, a friend taught me. Wow, really? What's the story there? I don't know Red. I didn't know Red even had friends. If anything should happen, I shall handle it. Or just ignore me. That's fine too. Instead of pressing the question, I gave up and got into bed. Are you going to sleep there again? It was obvious where I was referring to. By now, the chair by the window had become his usual spot, the one night he was here. If you prefer, I can sleep outside instead. No! I love it when you sleep by the window. Please continue. I'd rather you slept in a bed, but I mean the window. A bizarre sentiment, I must admit. Just to be clear, though, are you sure that's what you want? Did you get enough sleep last night? Yes. You have dark circles under your eyes, though. I was born with them. Oh. And there he goes with his crazy eyes again. This would be so cute if he didn't have crazy eyes. Like, the crazy eye, you're like, dude, could you... Oh. His work complete, Red sat down at his usual chair. Say, Red? Yes? Why do you think the wolf keeps harassing me? For attention? Whose attention could they possibly gain by doing this? Isn't it obvious? Yours. Right. Of course. Then that makes it point to Wolf even more, like he wants our attention, you know? Warning! You know what you did. Now confess. Or suffer terrible misfortune. I repeat, confess your sin. Next time I won't ask nicely. Signed, the Wolf. Still can't think of anything you might have done. Nope. No surprise there. After spending time with you, I can tell that you're a good Samaritan. It's hard to imagine you committing a crime. You never know. Maybe I did something really, really horrible and I just can't remember it. My sin is not knowing. You didn't notice me! I must have done something to deserve this blackmail. Yes, I suppose it's possible. Hey, if it turns out I did do something wrong, will you hate me for it? I won't hate you. You mean it? Yes. I wonder why the wolf wants me to confess my sin. What will they get out of it? I'm afraid I don't have the answer. Now then, that's enough chatter. You've got another day of school tomorrow, so get some rest. Okay. Good night, Red. Good night, Miss Arisu. Could you just call me Spacey for fuck's sake? Okay, so this is the perfect place. Oh. I don't know if it's me dreaming or if it's him, but we're going to find out the next part. This is the perfect place to end it. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.